Hello everyone, my name is Lumini, and I'm doing some commentary just because I feel like I want to talk about kind of the small little things that go here and there with the TA Wiki runs versus the freestyle runs. Uh, Admittedly, this thought came about because I had a goal to run Kulu using the TA Wiki rules, which means no animals with you, no use of endemic lives that you can collect. So like things that you can hit, like the vigor wasps and the cutterflies and the affinity bugs and all that stuff, those are fine. Just because you kind of can't help that you hit them, and not only that, but they generally help you out and don't disrupt the flow of the fight too much. However, things like flash flies, on the other hand, those are considered as illegal, and you should hopefully never hit them. And if you were to hit them, then pray that the monster does not become blinded by them. And so like little things like that have been made illegal if you decide to use this rule set. And big emphasis on if you decide to use the rule set. You don't have to use the rule set. In fact, if anything, I know some people lately have decided to stop, or if not stop, then don't use the TA Wiki rules as often whenever it comes to like a 1v1 fight, just because you have some instances that the developers have added, like the new starburst bugs on the walls, where you kind of can't help but to hit them. Like, you don't want to hit them on purpose, but you just end up hitting them because the camera just kind of auto-locks you. You think you barely made it just slightly outside of that range, but psych, you accidentally hit it. Sorry. Now your run's kind of nullified, and now you're not having fun. Just because all that work that you put in and having your little god tier TA Wiki run is now ruined just because of one silly thing. And then top it off, with skills like Dereliction and I'm trying to think of the name, Bloodlust, it also makes utilizing those particular skills a lot harder, because now the monster is moving around a whole lot more, as opposed to a freestyle run where typically the monster is a lot more controlled because you're locking it down through various means, whether it's endemic life or even through your dogs. But I guess I can say that as a result of that, sometimes running TA Wiki can be a bit frustrating, just because you do have those uncontrollable factors coming in where like it just kind of messes up your run. Like, for example, if another monster were to crash in when I was fighting that Kulu and this was a TA Wiki run, I would see that as, well, shit, this guy is gonna fuck up this whole thing just because now the monster's not doing what I want it to do. And if you have it set to where you are wyvern riding, then you're probably gonna accidentally wyvern ride that guy and lose a lot of your time. Or in the other case, you're gonna start losing a bunch of sharpness because now you're hitting two monsters at once. However, in the freestyle sense of things, depending on the monster, like for example, if it's a weak monster like Kulu, you're probably just gonna waste your time if you try to start utilizing the monster's attacks. But I guess, as you can see right here, since I have a lot more to talk about in the freestyle run, you can sharpen while you're riding your dog, so no sudden stops to your trips. You can set up a trap. You can begin to set yourself up, especially if you're a weapon that requires setup, like Switch Axe needs a little bit of setup to get going, Charge Blade gets a little bit of setup to get going, so this trap right here is a wonderful way to do that. And then top it off, very soon, as you're going to see, the dogs end up getting the wyvern ride, and since I have the wyvern ride set to off for this fight, Kulu is able to just take a beating. And then top it off, while Kulu is getting into that recovering, he pretty well almost immediately gets paralyzed. And then with the right setups, Paladins are able to do a very disgusting amount of damage. I believe Barusu had done a Raytheon run where he was just showcasing how strong the animals are, and from what I remember, they did about 15 to 20% the amount of damage that he, or how should I say, about 20% of the damage in the entire course of the fight, which was approximately a minute long, which is absolutely bonkers to think about. And so, as a result of that, the fights are obviously significantly faster, because not only are your Palamutes doing 20% of all the HP, but you also have the traps, which also cut off at least, I want to say a master rank, at least approximately 5 to 10% of the HP, which means that's approximately, definitely not right math, but that's about 5 to 10% of HP that you don't have to account for as often, because the monster, well, it's already captured, you're not finishing it off. And as a result of that, you're not having to deal with the monster running away. Well, anyways, I think that's going to be it. I think I've kind of rambled on enough. If you enjoy my ramblings, because this was literally a ramble, I have no script going into this. I just kind of talk what's on my mind, just saying the first thing that comes to mind. But if you enjoy hearing that, I guess just let me know. I'll do it more often, because normally I just do the run and I post it. But every once in a while, I feel like I want to do a little bit more, just to contribute a little bit more, just so, like, for those of y'all guys watching a run all day, or like if you're at work and you just have the runs going on in the background, then you have something at least somewhat interesting, or at least some background noise to listen to. So with that, I'm going to bid you farewell, and I hope to see y'all guys next time. Later.